Hello, thank you for joining me once again. Today I'm going to talk about two different visions. It'll kind of be like a collage. Uh, but before I talk about the visions that I've had, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Welcome back. Those of you who are here for the very first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you hear today. And I invite you to subscribe to the channel so that you can hear more of what I have to say when I make a video. Of course, like and share the video. And this is all for entertainment purposes only. Right out the bat, entertainment purposes only. Okay, so two different visions. The first one is a Shiba Inu, and I'm gonna share that one first because it's much shorter, and then I'll share the other one, which is political, and what I feel the outcome of the midterms is going to be. So I made a video before. For those of you who saw it, thank you for watching. Of what Shiba Inu, one of the subscribers let me know it was called an open vision. I did not know that's what they were called. When I had the vision of the spider web, when I was sitting out here and looking right out there, and I revisited it because it does keep. It has not gone away. And for me, when I have a vision, dream, and if I've delivered the message, it goes away. Usually if I give a reading to somebody and they'll say, remember when you said such and such? No, I don't. And I'll tell somebody that, remember what I said, because 9 times out of 10, I won't. But so when it sticks with me, I know it has not come to pass yet, or there's still more to come, so on and so forth. So with the Shiba Inu vision, when I was watching what I thought was a spider web, when I was sitting, in fact, I'll just share it again. I was sitting out on the steps right here and asking the universe to show me what's to come, show me what's to come for Shiba Inu. And I'm just enjoying the nature, being in my zone like I do. And I saw what I thought was a spider web, and it was about 6 inches long, 6 to 8 inches long, and it was white and shimmery. And then I saw it began to rise, and because it was like at ground level. And, and I'm thinking, the wind is just lifting it up, and then I'm just enjoying nature and all that it, has with it. And I'm just watching it. And when it rose, I watched it to get as high as, like I was looking up in the trees, and I felt to keep watching it. And I was still in, amazement of, look how this spider web is just being carried by the wind, and it's white and shimmery. And then when it got to one point where it began to come my way, and not rise as fast, because it was a slow, steady rise. And then when I saw it get to the point of where it looks like 2 to 3 of them, because that's when I, thought that I was seeing reflection off of my sunglasses, and so I tilted down to see if it really wasn't a spider web, but that it was reflection. And when I tilted down and looked with natural eye, I still saw it, and so I put my glasses back up and but that part of the 2 to 3 is what stuck out to me. That I revisited, but for those who haven't heard this, and as the spider web rose and still coming my way, and it got to where I was sitting down and I was looking up at it, and I'm, still just like, wow, the spider web. And then it turned green. It wasn't white anymore. It turned green, and the hue around it and everything got fatter, and then it just took off, and it took me by surprise. I was like, whoa, what was that? And and I looked back to see, I'm still thinking light reflection and all this other kind of stuff. But when it came to the point when I realized what I had been asking and what I saw, that was my vision. Now, for the part that they looked like there was like 2 to 3 of them, I was asking, what what does that 2 to 3 mean? And because I didn't know if it meant like 2 to 3 dips, 2 to 3 dollars, 2 to 3 cryptos. All I know was the 2 to 3 part of me was kind of enough for me to go back to revisit it. So I went into meditation and I was focusing on that part, and I then saw, because I was focusing on Shiba Inu, and I saw I saw 3 arrows. You've seen like a nine-tail fox? Yeah, nine-tail fox, how the tails all come out like that. Well, this was like 3 arrows that came up, and then I saw 3X underneath it, and so I'm in my mind, I'm trying to follow what this 3X is, trying to understand what is the 3X mean. Is it mean, and what does the 3 arrows mean? And because I was like, okay, does it mean that it's going to rise 3 times as it's going up before it takes off, or will it be 3 different ups and downs and then it takes off? And so then I brought my attention back to the 3X part, but then when I went to go to look at the 3X, it was a 4X. And so I was like, okay, so I'm sharing it to say this. If you look at the timeline of the way the rises of the Shiba Inu has gone thus far, we have one big jump that occurred this time last year, around this time last year, when it went to 8 something, the 4 zeros and 8 something before it was getting ready to turn to 9 and then to drop a 0 to start over again. So that was one hump. And then we had another hump about 6 weeks ago when it went up to close to like 17. It went up, and then we had another dip. And currently it appears like we're in another rise here. So I'm wondering if we're going to go, we had 1, 2, and if we're in a third and it's going to drop down and then go back up, and that's the 4 that I saw, on the 4th rise, this is when it goes back up. Just putting it out there of what I saw, and but I can tell you I do feel it's now. I'm feeling now. I actually will look at my phone in a feeling of shock will come over me, as if, because I'm looking at it I know that it's now. When I look at it and see that it's not, a feeling of like, disappointment. I don't want to say disappointment, but shock, like it hasn't happened. That's how much I feel like it's now. Okay, so that was and also too, that 2 to 3 also could mean 2 to 3 cryptos. So take that one in your, as you are processing everything that I'm saying. Of course, with everything that you hear, no matter whom you hear it from, you should always within yourself use your meter, your BS detector, whatever you want to call it, and you need to listen to what is true within you and use that guidance as to what you believe to be true. Okay, I'm sharing what I've seen, and I'm happy to share what I've seen, because I love my visions and my dreams and and all of my gifts. And so the other one was, I revisited a different dream. I also made a video few years back, and I'm sharing this one again because it's politically related and we're still in it. It has not gone away, of what I continue to see. So I will share the vision again, and then I will just share the vision again. So I was driving along one time, and it was around the time of the Trayvon Martin, after it was the time when there was all of those police shooting involvement, the different issues with policing and people of color and police brutality and so forth at that time when it began to be at the height. And I was really, really confused because I asked the question, and I said, why is all of this continuing to happen at the way that it is when social media exists and everybody has a camera in their hand and they can see for themselves what is happening? And at that, when I asked that question, I saw a wooded area, and it was a thick, good, tall trees, and there was a big river in front of it, and the river was going from right to left in its flow. It was clear, and from over my right shoulder came this big hand, and it went all the way down to the bottom of the clear water. It went way down to the bottom, and it began to stir it. It began to move it. It began to move it like this. Just began to stir it all up and went all the way down. And it stirred up all the muck. And I knew that it meant that we were getting ready to be in a time of exposure. I knew that we were going back to the time of like the 60s. It wasn't going to be as long and as intense, but it was going to be revisited again, and it would come in the form of exposure to what people didn't think existed anymore, things that people thought they got away with, our laws, our government, our financial system, our food system, our individual rights. And if you look at it, we really are revisiting the time of the 60s. You have voting. Back in the 60s, we had, great icons like Martin Luther King, John Lewis, that, and many, many others that fought for our right to vote as people of color. And now we have, in our current political times, when it comes down to voting, we are revisiting that issue again with the gerrymandering and the redistricting of the drawing of the lines, and the issues that we're having now in the results of our political democracy. You go out to vote, and then that's the result. And now we're in a time of where we're seeing such change to that, such exposure to on how people really are and the extent that they're willing to go through to gain the power in the position that they desire to be in, for the purpose of continuing to keep things the way they are, or whatever their reasons may be. The point is, all of it is being brought to the surface. And the part about the river running from right to left, I believe somebody did, when I shared the vision with somebody, because that was the one part that stuck out to me, that I did not understand what the water meant that was flowing from right to left, because first of all, it stuck out to me. And then when I was told that water flows from left to right, I was even more confused. So, but I believe that it means that politically we are running from right to left. Now, and I say that with the midterms coming up, I think it's going to be surprising to the number of blue seats that are obtained, because that's the direction that we are heading. And if things continue to go in this way, it will even be, again, come 2024, towards the blue Um, and it will be on the blue on the forefront, but in the background is so much chaos. And because it's other party people not wanting to accept results, but the whole point is the results are coming out of because of people's actions. Everything is being exposed. So this is really, really a critical time in the exposing of where we are. And the other part that came to me in when I was asking about the muddiness in the water, where are we on that trajectory? Where do we stand in that? And when I asked that question, I saw a graph. So this is an expansion on what I saw. I saw a graph, and it went up to a peak and then back down again, and it had like a dotted line down the middle of that, right at where the peak was at. And first I heard 7 years, like we've come 7 years, and then I heard 14 years. And so I believe that whole graph represented 14 years. So we've gone through 7, and we have 7 more to go, and that ends at 2030. And I have had some other visions regarding 2030 and the year 2050. And that's why that was significant to me when I got when the 14 year. So, but with that said, it's like right now we're in the thick of it, of where we are in bringing things to the surface for all to see of the way things really truly are. And this is your opportunity, your time to take advantage of, and I don't know if advantage is the word to use, but it's your time to stand in your truth. And what kind of future do you want to live in? What kind of society do you want to have? Because the voting is coming up, and Roe v. Wade is an issue that has like shattered the glass, that people thought that this is just the way that it is. No. And we're changing things. That is where we are at. So it's really, really important to see things with clarity and taking the time to step back so that you're not caught in all the because that's really what we're in. We're in this chaotic time of chaos, but which brings change, which brings a better way to living. If with the U.S., we're going into our Pluto return, and that's a time of revisiting for the U.S. as to what do our laws from what we can was created back when the Constitution and all that was written. Now is a time for revisiting. Now is that time of everything being brought to the surface. It's like, okay, what works and what doesn't work, and who needs to stop doing what? What can I do? What can you do? What can we do? That is the time that we're in. So pay attention to the things that you see around you, because it is what it is. It is what it is, and it is a time of things being brought to the surface. And I know I've said that many times, but and I say that with don't be surprised of what you continue to see. Don't be surprised of the dramatic changes. And with that being said, I can tell you when it comes to the former guy, I do see indicted. I see the word Trump's been indicted. This is entertainment purposes only. That's what I see. And I've never, even when he very first got elected, I never saw him going to jail. I knew that he would lose financially. I even made a video back when I said he was going to lose everything. And that's coming, we're watching that come to light. And uh, when I say I've never seen him going to jail, uh, the other day, about a week or so ago, I saw sentenced, and I was like, whoa. And then I heard 2 years, but I don't know what that 2 years meant. I didn't know if it was going to take 2 years to do it, if he was going to get sentenced to 2 years, if he was um, only going to serve 2 years of whatever. All I heard is I heard 2 years, and then the crazy part, and I will give my the crazy part was I saw a prison, and I saw Trump supporters planning a breakout. And I know that sounds crazy. We will see if it happens or not. This is me really just sharing what I've seen. I know that's crazy. However, up until that point, I've never saw him going to jail. So I was really surprised when I saw sentenced. Now, what am I? I was supposed to. Oh, with crypto, first I saw Amazon, and then first I saw Amazon accepting, I don't know if it was just Bitcoin. I don't think it was just Bitcoin. I saw them accepting crypto as a form of payment, Amazon. And then right after that, I saw Target, and then I saw Walmart. So I was like, oh, okay, so we'll see if that comes to pass. And I think that it would only be like online that you would be able to do that initially. I think that there will be like some changes, or I feel like adjustments are being made, and then will also again be made and I think this is through like Amazon, of how they do accept their form of payment. Another question that I've had was, what makes SHIB go up the way that, if what my vision saw was true, what makes it go up? Because you look around, the economy is what it is, the stock market is what it is, the crypto market is what it is, gas is what it is. So what makes this one entity go up? And I was the thought that came to me was that Mr. Entertainment purposes only, Mr. Elon will do something and use his new platform and begin to speak about it, and that makes it go up. So, because of something that is going to be used, the changes that he's making, but I think it's something that he says. So we'll see if that sparks it, in addition to everything that it consists of with the SHIB market, with the SHIB within itself, the Shibarium that's getting ready to be released. And I believe that the only reason why that hasn't been released, and this is my belief, is that they're waiting for the regulations of what comes out, and then they can release the Shibarium blockchain. And then the other thing that was a crazy thought, and this one really was a collaboration with somebody else. I won't say who it was that I was talking with, and that individual was saying that they felt that the owner of the creator of Bitcoin and the creator of SHIB will come out to be the same person. And this was a challenge that they were making to themselves. So we shall see, because there's a lot of, like the new game, the Shiba Eternity, it's set in a dojo, in a Japanese type setting. So Of course, the names, and so we shall see, because the real owner, creator of Shiba Inu has not really revealed who they are. So, and like I said, I was talking to somebody about that. So I don't know if it was because I was talking to them, but within my meditation, when I was like focusing and asking in what direction, that too came to me as well. So, and then I was like, wait a minute, so and so said that. So we shall see. I think that is everything that I've seen lately. Wanted to share with you, and thank you once again for listening to me just go on and on and on. Please get out there and vote. Super important, and you can see that it's in a really, really important time. Okay? Pay attention to your local politicians, because they are the ones that change the laws locally to where you are. All the attention is always on the federal end, always up in Washington, and that keeps you looking in that direction. But if you're not looking in your local area, in the things that affect you directly, pay attention to that as well, because that within itself is a huge, hey, look over here, while a lot is being done right under your nose, and you have no idea until after the fact. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, like, and share. And when I have something new that comes to me, I'm going to be happily get on and share it with you again, because I love my intuition. I love my spirituality. I love life within itself. And I believe and trust in where we are going to a higher vibration. And with that, I send you love and guidance along your path on your journey for the betterment of us all.